Okay, well, today we're talking about AI and the way it's being used to consolidate control. The key to increasing human control is to increase centralization of power. For instance, there was a time when the human race was made up of tribes. The tribes decided what happened to the tribes. Then there came a big change when lots and lots of tribes came together under what we would now call nations. And now a few people at the center of the nation were now dictating to all the former tribes. Through the European Union, we've gone to the next level, which is to bring nations together under centralized control. And the idea eventually is to have a world government, world army, world central bank, world currency, cashless, which we're heading to so fast. And underpinning that structure of centralized global control is complete control of human perception. And it's happening in front of our eyes. Why would someone want that? Why does Stalin want to control Russia with a rod of iron? Because they're freaking mad. They're psychopaths. No empathy. The inability to put themselves in the feelings and situations of others. When you remove empathy, all limits go. Those people are also very good at what they do. They're very sick, but intellectually they're very, very clever. And they study. And this is what AI is doing. It's studying us. They talk about surveillance and all this technological surveillance, all this AI stuff. Well, it's not just surveillance. All the things that the human race posts on the internet, posts on social media, all that is being fed into AI and supercomputers, which is becoming enormously skilled at understanding the human psyche, therefore able to manipulate the human psyche to control what we're back to it, control perception. And they're forming the future, because they know how people are going to react, so they know how to come at things. And the end game in terms of complete control of human perception is to connect the human brain to artificial intelligence. The people who are in control are very clever, and they study, and that's what AI is doing. And the Silicon Valley crazies are now openly talking about this. There's a guy at Google, he's called a futurist, called Ray Kurzweil, and there are others like him as well. They're actually giving the year 2030 for connecting the human brain to artificial intelligence. And at that point, and I'm now quoting or paraphrasing Kurzweil, once that connection is made, he said AI will do more and more and more and more of human thinking, until human thinking as we know it will become basically negligible. In other words, the human mind will become AI. Instead of manipulating human perception will become direct through AI. And this is how they've done it. I want to give you a sequence. Talking about problem, reaction, solution, there's another technique that's the bedfellow for problem, reaction, solution, and it's the totalitarian tiptoe. What you do is you start at A, and you're going to Z, but if you go too big a leap to Z, the change is such that people go, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening? So you go in as big a leap as you can, but not so big that people see the pattern. And so the totalitarian tiptoe to control by AI went like this. Stage one, get them addicted to technology that they hold. Your goal is to get in the body. So first of all, stage one, you get them addicted to technology that they hold. So we have this fast explosion of the smartphone era. That's the stage one, and that's achieved. Fast numbers of people are absolutely addicted to the technology they hold. Now, the next stage, we go to stage two, they're holdables. The next stage is wearables. You're going in the body. So the next stage you get on the body. This is your Apple Watch, your Bluetooth, and all these things, endless gadgets that you wear. And what they're doing is conditioning normality. These office assistants and these Barbie dolls and toys for kids. You have to relate to these things as if they're human. Think of them in terms of if they're human. They're making these things normal. And then you go to the next stage, which is inside the body, internal chipping. Elon Musk is big into this. Elon Musk comes out and says that AI could be the end of the human race. On that, he's right. And then he opens a company called Neuralink to connect the human brain to computers. Talk me through that one, sort of, an Overton window. The only way they're going to connect everyone to AI, no matter where they are in the world, is by having every inch of the planet covered with Wi-Fi, the cloud. This is what Kurzweil says, that the human brain is going to be connected to the cloud. So the cloud has to be global. They're putting thousands and thousands of satellites up in orbit to beam Wi-Fi down to the planet so no one can escape from it. 5G is wrapping up this whole, what they call smart grid. Do you notice how everything today is called smart? You even have smart water that has the nanoparticle computer chips in it. Everything's called smart, and they brag as part of from the clouds, the fake clouds. There's even marketed, the smart water is marketed by celebrities. Everybody's called smart as part of the smart grid, and part of the smart grid is to connect AI to the human brain. So everything is connected and controlled by AI, and whoever controls AI controls everything. And from one central point, when this grid is up and running, it's being put into place more and more every day all over the world. Whoever controls that central point controls not only everything technologically, they control the human mind. And see how fast things move. The Internet of Things. Already billions of things are connected to the internet. Everything's connected to AI and the internet. The internet was made possible thanks to an organization called DARPA, which is the technological development arm of the Pentagon. And if I called DARPA evil, I would be fearful of evil suing me for defamation of character. I mean, that's how bad it is. And so the idea is that before you can make a physical connection to AI, people have to accept it. You've got to make a psychological connection. What they're doing, because it's all a psychological game, the few cannot control billions unless they control the psyche of the billions. It's very important psychological manipulation technique. It's called preemptive programming. Okay, this is how it works. You are here, you want to go to there. That society is so dramatically different from this one. You're going to face a response against it. You want to do what? So what you do is you feel the movies and the programs with storylines, scenes, and portrayals of that world. And so what you're doing is, and you look at the movies that have come out, in the last 10, 15, 20 years about this whole world of technology and robots and AI, Minority Report with Tom Cruise. What you're doing is that you're preparing the subconscious, conscious as well, to become familiar with the world you want to take people into. So as the world is brought into for real, that familiarity is going to lessen the resistance to it because there's a familiarity about it. Make people think they need it for men to get women. You got to get people familiar with AI and interacting with it as if it's human. And that's what these office assistants are for. They're interacting with him as if the AI voice is human. And then you've got the Barbie dolls and the other toys. The thing is, when people become addicted to something like technology, they think they need it, but they don't necessarily need it. What it's doing, especially with the kids, is it's making them familiar with AI to the point where they perceive it as human. And once they've got that acceptance and the interaction, then when they move into connecting to the human body, there's going to be a lot less resistance. There's no shock because it's part of the life by then. That's why they're targeting kids, because they will be the adults in 2030 when they want this to go full blown.